Well, Barrios, do you think he beats Barrios?
Don't matter if he beats Barrios or not. Still, Rolly Pacquiao. How many losses does Pacquiao have? Oh, that's another thing, Brady. Pacquiao another one that don't give losses, and everyone keep tuning in for him, right?
Try to knock him out. If you ever hurt him, finish him. But meanwhile, just sit back and box and do your thing.
To be financial. I mean, any fighter that comes back, especially from retirement, a guy like Manny Pacquiao, it definitely has to deal with money.
Many fighters are split over Manny Pacquiao's comeback at age 46. Floyd Mayweather says it's a mistake that could hurt Pacquiao's legacy. He called it sad to see Manny still fighting at this age. Some believe the fight is more about money than.
Whereas Pacquiao, at his age, which is sad that he has to fight.
Rolando Rolly Romero believes it doesn't matter if Pacquiao wins or loses, because he's already a legend. He said Pacquiao is the kind of fighter who doesn't care much about the result. Romero also showed interest in being Pacquiao's next opponent.
Which fighters actually apply?
Rolly Pacquiao.
Well, Barrios, do you think he beats Barrios?
Don't matter if he beats Barrios or not. Still, Rolly Pacquiao. How many losses does Pacquiao have? Oh, that's another thing, Brady. Pacquiao another one that don't give losses, and everyone keep tuning in for him, right? Bro, all that undefeated, that don't mean shit if you're not fighting over. Nobody gives a fuck about you.
Roy Jones Jr. praised Pacquiao's legendary career, saying the Filipino icon has already proven everything. He said Manny's legacy speaks for itself, and he doesn't need to come back. While Jones respects him, he still questions why Pacquiao would fight again at this stage of life.
Fighter of the decade 1990s, passing on the torch to Manny Pacquiao, fighter of the 2000s.
Right?
Any advice tonight for him?
Just be smart. Don't get overly aggressive. Try to be smart with your aggression. Take your shots when you can, but don't go out there to just quickly knock him out. Just outbox him like you did last time. And when you get chances, take chances and try to knock him out. If you ever hurt him, finish him. But meanwhile, just sit back and box and do your thing. You have nothing to prove to him.
Any advice for any children and youth on the benefits of sports, not smoking in general? What would you say to them?
No smoking, no drinking, party lightly. Always keep your own mind. That's how I got to where I am now. I always keep my own mind. No smoking, no drinking, no drugs. Stay in your own mind. In your own mind, then you can make your own choices and decisions the proper way. Give yourself the best chance.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tim Bradley voiced concerns about Pacquiao's return, saying it seems to be more about money than love for the sport. He suggested that comebacks like this often mean financial problems. Bradley also warned that Barrios, being younger and in his prime, could deliver a tough loss that might end Manny's career on a bad note.
Pacquiao getting back in the ring again for a world title fight.
Well, obviously, you know, it has to be pertaining to any kind of money. You know, it has to be financial. I mean, any fighter that comes back, especially from retirement, a guy like Manny Pacquiao, it definitely has to deal with money. One. Two, I think Manny Pacquiao, I think his C game is a lot better than anybody, a lot of guys' A game, even with the age. But you have to take into account the last time he stepped foot in that ring against Ugas. You know, he didn't look good. He was outmatched by, you know, a younger fighter. Barrios is no slouch. Barrios is a young fighter, you know, bigger fighter, knows how to, you know, control distance very well, can punch a little bit. Like, he's no easy task for anybody in the welterweight division. And for Manny to come back after this long and to face a young guy like that is dangerous. And sometimes, you know, these old legends, they got to get beat up several times before they call it quits. You know, that Ugas fight, I don't know if it was enough for Pacquiao. That's why he's coming back. But Barrios, he can finish Pacquiao. There's a possibility that he can finish Pacquiao and basically cause him to go back into retirement once again. But again, what they say, the last thing that leaves is the power. If Manny got any of that power still left in him, if he lands that left hand, he can hurt the young gun. So, but that's easier said than done.
Yeah, I actually think he can beat Barrios.
Analyst Ryan Campbell shared his thoughts on Pacquiao's return at age 46, calling it unusual. He compared it to George Foreman's famous comeback, saying age can sometimes surprise us. Campbell admitted that although there are doubts, boxing, History has shown that older fighters can have magical performances. He believes anything can happen in boxing.
An only 8-division world champion. He'll be inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame next month. And then in July, BC's going to come out of retirement. Why now?
By the way, between those two dates, I believe he has an election coming up for a Senate position in the Philippines. So we always know that Manny is a busy man. He gets after it. He also dares to be great. And this is wild news. Look, in the boxing underground rumor mill, this had been floating around for a couple months. We just didn't know if it was going to be for real. Was Manny really going to commit to not just coming back after 4 years away, after just one fight in the last 6 years, at age 46, but to come back directly into a title fight against a young, in his prime, active champion in Mario Barrios? It's interesting theater, to say the least. It's a pay-per-view main event, reportedly for July 19th. And we know Manny Pacquiao has always brought big business, but now he's going to bring it in more of the late career George Foreman type of way to etch himself into that record book even further. Can Manny do it? I mean, look, the odds are certainly against him, but there's one thing about certain legends in this game. Think Bernard Hopkins, who fought into a very late age. Some of them, as long as they can physically get themselves into that ring, sometimes they can reproduce magic for one night. So it's a romantic situation. I got cats walking around.
Yep.
People are excited to see the Pac-Man back. You just got to kind of figure out, is this for real? Is he going to be for real? Or are we going to send him into a physical, violent retirement?
Campbell also talked about Pacquiao's physical condition. Even though Manny isn't in his prime, Campbell said he still has speed that matches many average fighters today. In recent training clips, Pacquiao looked sharp on the pads, throwing fast punches and showing flashes of his old footwork and rhythm, proving he still has some tools left.
Power, right? He hasn't fought in 4 years. What makes you think he's got a chance against the much younger, the 29-year-old Mario Barrios?
Look, I'm not saying the odds will be high that he's going to come back and pull this upset or even be ultra competitive. But again, it's sort of like Manny's already superhuman. Turning pro at like age 15 or 16 at 106 pounds and winning titles in 8 divisions. And oh, by the way, 2 fights ago for Manny in 2019, he came out of retirement and beat an unbeaten Keith Thurman for the welterweight title at the age of 40. There's very few greats that you can call all-time greats, and I think sometimes even above that category, there's that upper room. Is Manny Pacquiao?
Promoter Frank Warren and broadcaster Simon Jordan strongly disapproved of Pacquiao's comeback. Warren called it disappointing and said it's unnecessary since Manny's legacy is already secure. Jordan added that fighting again at 46 could be harmful and looks more like exploitation than respect for a boxing legend.
One of those in boxing history, sure. But let's look at a couple things. The last thing to go is power, yes. Manny was also absurdly fast in his prime. So like a Roy Jones Jr. who hung on far too long, but was still fighting professionally at the age of 50, he still got speed that kind of compares to the average or above average speed that's out there today.
Absolutely, very Frank can speak to it far more eloquently than I can. I think it's a disgraceful decision. I think it's an appalling decision. I mean, the WBC make lots of appalling decisions, and I'm not a big fan of them. But the fact of the matter is Pacquiao is a legend of the sport. I don't know why they'd want to do it, whether it's the fees that they get as a result of it or whether it's the publicity. Boxing is in a brilliant position right now because of the Frank Warrens in the world and the relationships that he's developed over the last couple of years with the Saudis that's opened the door for everybody else. We're getting brilliant fights. We don't need to rehash somebody that's 46 years of age that didn't look great in his last fight, stick him in against a world champion who isn't a great world champion, but that's not the point. The optics of this, the reality of this, there's no necessity for it.
Promoter Frank Warren and broadcaster Simon Jordan strongly disapproved of Pacquiao's comeback. Warren called it disappointing and said it's unnecessary since Manny's legacy is already secure. Jordan added that fighting again at 46 could be harmful and looks more like exploitation than respect for a boxing legend.
Necessity for it, besides the WBC doing it for, I think, illegitimate reasons.
Why? I mean, Frank, you know the sport inside out. It seems to me, why does boxing always seem to allow for these kind of stories to manifest themselves?
Well, it's not boxing
doing it. It's the governing body. I mean, it's their title, and they decide who can fight for their title. So that rests with the governing body. I mean, for me, George Foreman came back, but he came back at an old age and won the title at 50 years. He was 50 years of age when he fought. You know, you look at.
But he didn't go straight into a world title fight, though, did he, Frank? He built up.
That's the point I was going to make. You know, you come in and you test the water. Go straight in for a world title fight is I don't see. I just don't go with that. I don't understand that.
Yeah.
And you know, and there are older guys who've managed over the years, although they've been active. For example, Bernard Hopkins, who's a great fighter, who fought well into his.
Both Warren and Jordan questioned the reasons behind allowing this fight. They suggested money might be a bigger factor than Pacquiao's well-being. They believe a legend like Manny should retire with honor, not be pushed into a risky match. With a younger, fresher opponent, they warned this choice might lead to regret, not glory.
Champion Mario Barrios to defend his belt against Manny Pacquiao. And about 7 to 8, maybe 9, 10 years ago, I would have said, hells yeah, if we had a Manny Pacquiao championship fight. But Manny's been retired for 4 years. He's 46 years old. His last fight was in 2021, and he lost to Ugas in a unanimous decision. I watched his exhibition bout against the kickboxer guy in Japan. That didn't look good. This is a bad idea. A really bad idea. And again, I think people will look at this and go, well, Jake Paul fought Mike Tyson, and yeah, that happened. And I also said that Mike was going to get really badly hurt, and it was a terrible idea for him to do that. And there were some health issues and everything else. Luckily, Mike didn't get super hurt in the fight, but this is a world championship level fight against a sitting world champion, and Manny does not belong in there. And again, I'm worried that he's going to get hurt badly for the same reasons. What do I mean? The breakdown. Let's go. Let's just start here. Manny Pacquiao, again, I just went over it. 46 years old, been retired 4 years, lost his last fight. He beat Keith Thurman before that, but that was 2019. So it's been a while. And this is not me discounting who I think is one of the greatest boxers ever and has an argument to be the greatest ever, because what did he won world championships in how many divisions? 8, 9, something crazy like that. There'll never be anybody like Manny Pacquiao. But let's just look at it and throw away your bias or throw away your fandom of Manny Pacquiao, because of course there's going to be a ton of people that watch this, and fair play, right, to those people that want to watch this. They want to see their guy go out and try to give it his all one more time. And Mario Barrios didn't look super spectacular when he was on the Netflix card, the Jake and Mike card, and he got dropped.
Trainer Greg Hackett gave a blunt opinion. He said that if the fight had happened a few years earlier, Pacquiao would have beaten Barrios easily, but now he sees Manny as slower, less durable, and lacking the hunger he once had. Hackett called the fight a money-making event, not a real championship-level match.
Manny Pacquiao against Mario Barrios fight is signed, done for July of 2025. Pacquiao is 46 years old. We haven't seen him in the ring in years. Are you cool with Pacquiao against Mario Barrios?
If I was cool with Manny Pacquiao coming back and fighting Keith Thurman, I'm definitely going to be cool with this one. Barrios is not a puncher. Thurman was a one-time, one of the biggest punchers in boxing. I think he's going to be just fine.
If Pacquiao wants to come back as a Hall of Famer and fight one more time, whatever. He didn't look good against Yordenis Ugas, and that was 5 years ago. We've seen him in these exhibitions looking fleshy, to say the least. It's meaningless because if Barrios wins, he's never going to fight a Boots Ennis. If Pacquiao wins, he's not going to fight anybody ever again. So I'm kind of indifferent to the whole thing.
Pacquiao's return shocked many. After retiring in 2021 and staying inactive, few expected him back. The news brought both excitement and worry from fans. Even though the WBC approved the fight, people still wonder if it will help or hurt Manny's legacy. Barrios and his team are taking it seriously, preparing as if they're facing the old Pacquiao. They respect his boxing mind and hard work.
The WBC president Mauricio Sullivan has said Mario Barrios will face Manny Pacquiao this July. That's some crazy shit, bro. That's some crazy news. Manny Pacquiao is 46 years of age. He's making his return to the ring. And he said he wants to go out with a bang. He wants to finish his career as a champion. That's some crazy shit. Manny Pacquiao's professional record currently stands at 62 wins, 39 of those coming via knockout, 8 losses and 2 draws. Manny Pacquiao has one of the most impressive CVs in the sport of boxing. Just take a look at from 09, Ricky Hatton, all the way up until here. There's so many names: Timothy Bradley, Manuel Marquez, Shane Mosley, Joshua Cloteley, Miguel Cotto, Floyd Mayweather, Jesse Vargas. Like, there's so many names on this list. You know what I'm saying? Let's take a look at Mario Barrios' record. 29 wins, 18 of those coming via knockout, 2 losses and 1 draw on his resume. What do I make of this fight? I don't know, you know. I mean, listen, this is a young man's sport. I ask myself, Manny Pacquiao, why do you want to come back and fight a younger fighter? You know what I mean? Mario Barrios, who is the current champion, the WBC champion. Why? What have you got to prove? You've proven everything throughout your career. So I don't know what to say, but anyways, let me know in the comment section what you guys think, and watch a clip of the president of WBC, Mauricio Suleiman, talk about this.
As of now, Mario Barrios is the WBC champion. So who is he mandated to fight next? Do you have made that decision yet?
Well, at this time, Mario Barrios is going to fight Manny Pacquiao in July. He wants to retire as WBC champion, so he's fighting in the welterweight division.
Why does he come out of retirement and get a WBC title shot in his first fight?
Because it's something that WBC has respected. Sugar Ray Leonard was retired 4 years when he requested to fight Marvin Hagler and defeated Hagler. So we do have that provision in the rules. A legendary champion with the credentials such as Manny Pacquiao. He has been medically cleared, licensed by Nevada, so we have voted in favor to allow that fight to happen.
That's all for today's video. Stay tuned for more updates.
Hit a lip, you know what I mean? But Pacquiao not Pacquiao no more. It's tough to go against him in this situation, because if it was some years ago, Pacquiao would beat Barrios. But right now, Barrios, with his momentum, might try to beat Pacquiao up. I mean, not knock him out, but, you know what I mean, beat him on the cards, beat him behind that jab.
Similar to like Ugas, the Ugas fight?
Yeah, like, yeah. It's a good fight, but it's more of a good fight for Barrios. Pacquiao don't need it, but Pacquiao want to come back, and he want to come back with a bang, so, I mean, why not? If he could make it happen, make it happen. Because I would love, if Barrios was my fighter, I would love to have a Pacquiao on the record. I mean, I would love something like that. And that's a fight you know you got to get ready for.
It's a fight that boxing fans want to criticize you for.
Yeah.
But the reality is, Manny Pacquiao has a diehard fan base that you're going to make money with that fight.
Yeah.
But everybody wants to see other fights at 47. You Stanionis, you Boots, you Brian Norman.
Yeah, but he want to steal as much as he can steal. You know what I mean? Because again, this shit is not forever. Just like anything else, it's going to end. So you want to make some money, and you want to do great things.
They presented us, with this opportunity, and he said, you know what, I'll bite down for it one more time. And then from there, obviously we had a tough loss, but it was a competitive fight. And his first fight at 147 pounds, he goes on and takes on Keith Thurman. No tune-ups, no getting used to the thing. Goes, at that point, is about as good as you can get in the division, and took on that. So he takes on all comers, all challenges. His first world title against Petirov, the Russian, is about as tough as you could have done at the time. And so I think he's earned the right now to be in the biggest, best possible fights. And now it's going to be up to Al Heyman and Louis DeCubas Jr. on what they see is best and fit for his career, whether that's, Pacquiao, Spence, if that's a unification with Boots, Ennis. That'll be up to them. But I do know one thing about Mario Barrios.